Imagine a world dominated by two colossal powers. These were not just any powers, but civilizations that shaped the very course of history. Their influence was so profound that their legacies are still felt today. In the east, the Persian Empire, a vast glittering behemoth. This empire was a marvel of its time, known for its architectural grandeur and sophisticated administration. Stretching from the Indus River to the shores of the Aegean Sea, the Persian Empire was a mosaic of cultures, languages, and traditions. It was a land where the sun never set, a testament to its vastness and diversity. Ruled by the King of Kings, its power seemed limitless. The Persian monarchs were seen as divine figures, chosen by the gods to lead their people. Their rule was absolute, their word law. To the west, a constellation of independent Greek city-states, fiercely proud and protective of their freedoms. Each city-state, or polis, had its own government, its own way of life. They were united by language and religion, but often divided by politics and rivalries. These were worlds apart, separated by language, culture, and a chasm of political ideology. The Greeks valued debate, philosophy, and the arts, while the Persians emphasized order, hierarchy, and the divine right of their kings. The Persians, with their centralized rule and divine right of kings, stood in stark contrast to the Greeks, who cherished democracy and individual liberty. In Athens, the birthplace of democracy, citizens gathered in the assembly to discuss and vote on matters of state. This was a radical idea unheard of in the Persian Empire, yet these two worlds were on a collision course. The differences that set them apart also drew them into conflict. The Persian Empire, with its insatiable appetite for expansion, saw the Greek city-states as both a threat and an opportunity. The Persian Empire, hungry for expansion, cast a covetous eye on the wealthy Greek cities dotting the Aegean coastline and their burgeoning influence in Ionia, modern-day Turkey. These cities were rich in resources and culture, making them a tempting target for the Persians. The stage was set for a clash of titans, a conflict that would decide the fate of Western civilization. This was not just a battle for territory, but a struggle for ideals. The outcome would shape the future of democracy, freedom, and the very essence of what it meant to be a civilization. The echoes of this epic struggle can still be heard today, reminding us of the enduring legacy of these ancient titans. The Persian Empire under the reign of Darius I was an awe-inspiring spectacle. Stretching from the Indus Valley in the east to the Aegean Sea in the west, it was a vast and diverse empire, unparalleled in its time. Darius I, known as Darius the Great, was a visionary leader who not only expanded the empire's borders but also implemented administrative reforms that held this colossal entity together. His reign marked the zenith of Persian power and influence. Its armies were legendary, composed of soldiers drawn from every corner of its vast domain. These warriors were not just fighters, they were symbols of the empire's might and unity. The Persian military was a melting pot of cultures and traditions, each bringing their unique skills and strengths to the battlefield. This diversity was one of the key factors that made the Persian army so formidable. Persians, Medes, Egyptians, Babylonians. A tapestry of warriors fighting as one under the banner of the King of Kings. This unity and diversity was a testament to the administrative genius of Darius I, who managed to forge a cohesive fighting force from such varied backgrounds. Each group brought its own unique fighting style and tactics, creating a versatile and adaptive military machine. Their tactics were ruthless, their discipline unyielding. The Persian army was known for its strategic brilliance and the ability to adapt to different combat scenarios. They employed a variety of formations and maneuvers, often outsmarting their enemies with superior planning and execution. The soldiers were trained to maintain their composure and effectiveness even in the most chaotic of battles. They were the undisputed masters of their world. The Persian Empire's military dominance was not just a result of its sheer size, but also its ability to integrate and utilize the strengths of its diverse population. This allowed them to conquer and control vast territories, creating an empire that was both feared and respected by its neighbors. The Greeks, on the other hand, were a fractious bunch. Unlike the unified Persian Empire, Greece was a collection of independent city-states, each with its own government, culture, and interests. This lack of unity often led to conflicts and rivalries among them, making it difficult to present a united front against external threats. Divided into independent city-states, often at odds with one another, they seemed ill-prepared to face the Persian war machine. The internal strife and competition among the Greek city-states were significant obstacles in their efforts to mount a coordinated defense. However, this very competition also fostered a culture of excellence and innovation, particularly in military tactics and training. Their armies, though renowned for their courage and skill, were dwarfed by the sheer size of the Persian forces. The Greek phalanx, a tight-knit formation of heavily armed infantry, was one of the most effective military formations of the time. Yet even this formidable tactic seemed insufficient against the overwhelming numbers and resources of the Persian Empire. What the Greeks lacked in numbers, however, they made up for in spirit. The Greek soldiers were driven by a fierce sense of independence and a deep-seated belief in their way of life. This indomitable spirit was a crucial factor in their ability to resist and eventually overcome the Persian onslaught. They were fighting for their homes, their families, their very way of life. The stakes were incredibly high for the Greeks, and this personal investment in the conflict gave them a psychological edge. They were not just fighting for territory or power. They were fighting to preserve their culture, their democracy, and their freedom. They were fighting for freedom. This fundamental difference in motivation between the Persian and Greek soldiers played a pivotal role in the outcome of their encounters. While the Persian soldiers were part of a vast imperial machine, the Greek warriors were defending their very essence, their identity, and their future. This made them a force to be reckoned with, despite the odds stacked against them. The first Persian invasion of Greece in 492 BCE, under the command of Darius's general Mardonius, was met with fierce resistance from the Greeks. Though the Persians achieved some initial victories, their campaign was ultimately hampered by logistical problems and Greek tenacity and determination. The stage was set for a more significant and decisive confrontation. The defining moment came in 490 BCE on the plains of Marathon, a historic battlefield. A small Athenian army, vastly outnumbered, faced the full might of the Persian invasion force, ready to defend their land. The stakes could not have been higher. The freedom of Greece hung in the balance, a pivotal moment in history. The Battle of Marathon was a testament to Greek courage and military genius. This pivotal moment in history showcased the indomitable spirit of the Greek people who, despite facing overwhelming odds, stood firm in defense of their homeland. The battle was not just a clash of armies, but a clash of ideals, where freedom and democracy faced off against tyranny and oppression. Outnumbered but not outmatched, the Athenians, led by the brilliant strategos Miltiades, devised a daring and innovative plan. Miltiades, understanding the strengths and weaknesses of both his own forces and the enemy, crafted a strategy that would turn the tide of battle. His leadership and tactical acumen were instrumental in orchestrating a defense that would become legendary. They would use their superior knowledge of the terrain and their lighter, more maneuverable hoplites to their advantage. The rugged landscape of Marathon was familiar to the Greeks, and they used this to outflank and outmaneuver the larger, more cumbersome Persian forces. The hoplites, with their disciplined formations and agile movements, were able to exploit every weakness in the Persian lines. The ensuing clash was brutal and bloody. The air was thick with the sounds of battle, the clash of swords and the cries of the wounded. Both sides fought with incredible tenacity, but it was the Greeks who had the upper hand. Their determination and strategic positioning allowed them to withstand the Persian onslaught, but the Greeks, fueled by the desire to protect their homeland, fought with unmatched ferocity. Every Greek soldier knew that the fate of their city-states hung in the balance. Their courage and resolve were unshakable, and they fought not just for themselves, but for their families, their way of life, and the future of Greece. Against all odds, they broke the Persian lines, sending the invaders reeling back to their ships in defeat. The Persian forces, unable to withstand the relentless Greek assault, began to falter and retreat. The Greeks seized this moment, pressing their advantage and driving the Persians back to the sea. It was a decisive victory that would echo through the ages. The victory at Marathon resonated throughout Greece, a beacon of hope against the seemingly invincible Persian Empire. News of the triumph spread quickly, lifting the spirits of the Greek people and inspiring other city-states to stand against the Persian threat. It was a moment of unity and pride, a testament to what could be achieved when the Greeks stood together. It was a victory for freedom, a testament to the strength of a united Greece. The Battle of Marathon became a symbol of resistance and resilience, a reminder that even the mightiest of foes could be defeated with courage, strategy, and unity. This historic battle laid the foundation for the rise of classical Greece and the enduring legacy of its civilization.